So I will be using the Dreamy Dozen palette by Lawless Beauty. This will be my second tutorial using this palette. I want to focus more on the cool tones. And I love this palette. It's $40 at Sephora. You get 12 shades for $40. And you get 3 really good shimmers and all these really nice mattes. Talc-free formula clean beauty at Sephora. So we're just going to jump right into it. So L'Oreal eye makeup brushes are my absolute favorite. I also really love ColourPop, and I also love Morphe Jaclyn Hill brushes, but I will be using majority L'Oreal and ColourPop for this tutorial. So first I'm gonna go in with, I think I'm gonna go in with this middle brown shade right here because this one is super orange. So the middle brown shade is called Camel, and that is just my favorite go-to kind of brown transition shade. And so I'm gonna blend that on my L'Oreal A11 blending brush. I'm gonna blend that right into the crease. And I'm gonna blend that right into the crease. And just like, look at that. Like, it already gave me the color I want. I don't want this to be super warm. I just wanted this brown to give some definition. So with a really light hand, and I'm already kind of blended, I already have the definition that I want. Just zoom in a little more. So I already have the definition I want, and I am happy with that. So now I'm gonna go in on an L'Oreal A20. I'm gonna go on in with the shade down here, which is Pashmia. Pashmia? It is that shade right there. However you say it. And I'm going to load up this brush, tap off the excess. There is lots of kickback in these shadows, but I am okay with that because the blendability of these shades are just amazing. And this is my first ever Lawless Beauty eyeshadow palette. And I'm just so impressed, especially because the formula is talc-free and clean beauty at Sephora. Stunning. So this shade's a little patchy, but nothing crazy. I'm just trying to fix that. But I am focusing this on the outer V here. Just kind of blending it all over as long as where my iris is, the white part over. And then just kind of building this V shape and making sure there's no harsh lines. Make sure it's all blend out because I'm an overblender, not an underblender. I say that in every single video because it's true. I love a well-blended eye look. All right, so I love it. It's very like subtle and wearable. It's nothing like super crazy because even though I love eyeshadow, I feel like the trends these days, like eyeshadow is not the trend anymore. I feel like it's more about your face makeup. And I do find myself enjoying face makeup more than eyeshadow, but I am also just like a ride or die eyeshadow person. It's just like, I don't know, my favorite product to purchase, my favorite product to use. So, and I feel like with the trends, like you can do really subtle eye looks like this and still like, you know, enjoy using eyeshadow, and if you know what I mean. All right, so I'm just kind of blending this into the crease, making sure everything's nice and blended together. And it is like a coolish, do you see the coolness of it? It is not as warm as the other shades. Like the other eyeshadow tutorial I created with this one, I love that look. It is like my kind of look. It is super warm, super orangey, red, all of that. And I was like, whoa, this is a really kind of warmish palette, but these cool tones down here are very nice if you're into the cool tones. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna take a smaller brush. So this is one by Morphe. It's the M574. It's just like a more pointed, precise brush. And I'm gonna go in with that like gray tone. I was gonna go in with the one above it, but I already used that. So I'm gonna go with that gray tone right there. And I'm gonna kind of line lots of kickback. lots of kickback, but it's a really fluffy, light formula. So I'm going to tap off my brush and I'm just going to run this along that lash line. So this is like a really pointed brush. Whoops. Really pointed brush so you can get precise with it. And I'm just going to kind of smoke out this lash line. I was going to only do it like halfway, but since it's kind of like a subtle gray, I'm going to smoke it across the entire lash. Like all the way to my inner corner. Really, really loving the way this is turning out. I'm giving myself that smoky gray lash line. And I love it. Love it. So just take your time with this. It's a really fluffy formula. I would say this shadow is not as pigmented as I thought it would be, but it's nothing like, it's giving me a really subtle smoky lash line, which is perfect. Sometimes if, you know, they're too pigmented and you're trying to do something like this, it's just like looking more like eyeliner and not like a smoky shadow lash line. All right, so now I'm gonna take that and just kind of build up my outer V with this. So that way it kind of like gets more smoky. And then I think I am actually just gonna go ahead and dip in the shade above it because it is darker and apply that here to my outer V. I hope that I was in frame for all that because I feel like I was kind of like low. I hope I was in frame. And you see me kind of just like patting and focusing that darker shade down here in the outer V. I want the darkest part though to be by the lash line, and I feel like the darkest part is coming up there. So then I'm just gonna have that darkness there and take the other brush I was using, which is the A20, and just kind of pat it and blend it. So now I want to go in with this gorgeous like gunmetal shimmer shade, which is called Smoked Taupe. And I am going to just go in with my finger. And that's what she looks like on the finger. It's a really pretty like bronze silvery shade. Super cool tone. And I'm just going to pat that here. I mean, look at that. So pretty. And I'm definitely going to bring the gray on top of this. So I'm really focusing this only on the first half of my eyelid because I don't want it to, I want those like gray and vampy shades to shine through. So there's that. Now it's definitely like an oily base shimmer. So if I rub my finger side to side, I'll get this really shiny metallic, but if I tap it, I get this like glitter, you know, it's like a pressed pigment. And so I'm gonna go back in with the Morphe M574. I'm gonna dip into the darker gray shade, and I am gonna line on top of that shimmer because I want a dark gray smoky lash line. And if you have a brush that's like, if you have a brush that's more like this, it might work better. But I'm just gonna continue to use this. And I'm just kind of adding that dark gray to the very base of the lash line, if you can see that, and it's just building up a gradient gray, smoky chrome eye look. And I'm loving this, especially with the warmer crease. So I am just gonna dip my blending brush back into this, no, that second brown shade, which is called Camel. So I'm gonna go in with Camel and I'm gonna blend up here again because the warmth in this Camel shade with the grays, I'm really digging it. And when I'm doing this, I'm like barely touching the tips of the brush onto my eyelid. And I do have a little bit of fallout, so I'm gonna try and get that away, but nothing super crazy. And I'm gonna go back in with this shimmer, which is Smoked Taupe. And I am just gonna tap on top again because I want that shimmer to just be like gunmetal, baby. This is so like 90s. Like this is like a fall 90s eye look. All right, so underneath, oh, my phone is not on silent. All right, so for my bottom lash line, I'm gonna take that gray and I'm going in with that Morphe brush that's pointed again. And I am just going to focus this on the outer, the lower lash line. And I'm gonna use a nude eyeliner, which is gonna help really open up this eye look. But this is gonna just balance that smokiness all the way through. See how like blendable these shades are? Like it's not so pigmented, but it's not like there's pigment, like definitely pigment, but it's so blendable and soft. And these are the first time I've ever used like a talc-free eyeshadow, I believe. Loving the formula. Okay, so now I want to do something. So I'm going to go with that shade right there, which is going to be, no. I'm going to go with this shade right here, which is the Pashima, which is kind of like a purpley tone, cool tone. And I'm going to blend that right below into the gray. So the bottom lash will be Smoky. That's gonna have that like hint of purple. Like that. Love, love, love. Okay. So I'm gonna highlight. Oh my goodness, I'm knocking everything over. I'm gonna highlight with the new Hourglass palette. This is the Jellyfish palette. I have a video of me using this, a full face. And I'm gonna go in with that shade down there, which is Finishing Powder Ethereal Light. And I'm gonna highlight my inner corner with this. This is like gonna be my new favorite inner corner highlight. It's just so subtle and pretty. Do you see how it just like catches the light but isn't like overkill? It is also very similar to my Laura Mercier 01 highlighter, which is another one of my favorite inner corner highlights. And then I'm going to take the same shade and just like touch it underneath my brow. Just a touch. And we're really focusing that here in my inner corner. So then my favorite super affordable Essence, right? This is Essence? This is Essence. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm like, wait a second. This is from London. This is the Essence one. It's the Black Wood nude eyeliner. I'm telling you, like, look how much I've used. This is like $5 and it's so good. The other really good affordable one is LA Girl. They have another really good one, but this one I've been using for so long and it's my absolute favorite. So I'm gonna just rub this on my bottom lash line. So I'm just rubbing this nude all over. And then I'm going to apply some mascara. So I'm going to apply, it's my favorite drugstore mascara. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. And then apply these Wispies by Ardell. I do like the Demi Wispies, but this is just the Wispies. And I will be right back. All right, so the lashes are on. The bottom lash mascara is also on. And that completes this look using the Dreamy Dozen palette. I really like this eyeshadow look for fall. I think it's kind of like gunmetal, a little bit of smokiness, but really on the natural side. There's no like harsh eyeliner, but there's like a smoked out lash line. It gives you just enough of a dramatic look that's not like an overkill. And that completes this look. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you in my next video.